The Finance Minister presented the 2024 interim budget today. Keeping with the convention, the FM did not make any changes to direct tax or indirect tax. However, there were a few policy measures and proposals that were put out by the government. These present an opportunity for stakeholders across the spectrum to undertake a dialogue with the government and share their perspective and ideas. The big one, which will be presented in the full budget later this year, is the roadmap for Viksit Bharat or Developed India 2047. This will be shared by the government when it presents the full budget. And almost linked to that is the high-powered committee, which has been set up to look at the challenges of population growth and demographic changes and make recommendations for addressing these for, again, Viksit Bharat or Developed India. While details of this committee is not known, such as terms of reference, and in all likelihood, these are things that will be shared in the subsequent weeks. It is important to note that by 2047, 2050, with improvements in life expectancy, among other things, India's elderly population is going to be about 20% of the total population. There are also other aspects that have been in discussions at various policy forums, which are linked to population and demographics, such as urbanization, employment, gender, and among others. And it's quite likely that these may be part of the committee's consideration. What is also interesting, and this is something that was reported also in the papers in the run-up to the budget, is the announcement of a viability gap funding for offshore wind energy of 1 gigawatts. It's interesting to note that last September, India floated the first tender to allocate seabed sites along the coast of Tamil Nadu for offshore wind generation. There was also a strategy that was shared, and the viability gap funding was one of the models that was mentioned in the strategy. Subsequently, in December, the government also notified the offshore wind energy lease rules 2023. So for companies which have participated in these bids, and there are reports which are saying that the tendering may be done in February this year, this is definitely a space that will see a lot of action. Another interesting development, and where there has been some work that has been going on for some time, has been the scheme for biomanufacturing and biofoundry that will be launched. Again, the objective is to provide environment-friendly alternatives such as biodegradable polymers. Last year, we saw India's standard-setting body, the Bureau of Indian Standard, come out with some standardization of biodegradability in some of the applications, and this particular scheme is likely to be of interest to innovators as well as companies across a range of sectors, including packaging, FMCG, e-commerce, and retail. There are also measures which have been announced in the interim budget for the four sections: the poor, the women, also for agriculture and youth. There are also specific measures across health and social sector support. But what we are also seeing in this budget is reinforcement of an approach that the government adopted a few years ago of linking loans to reforms being undertaken by the state government. In this budget, in the interim budget, there has been a provision of 75,000 crores of 50-year interest-free loans that has been proposed to states who undertake those reforms, and it's milestone linked. On the technology side, there were only a couple of announcements, and one was the announcement to launch for strengthening of deep technologies for the defense purposes. This will be of interest to especially for domestic companies who will be watching out for what this scheme would entail. Finally, another important area which the government has emphasized and continues to do so, is the research and innovation. And within that, the government has earmarked about 1 lakh crore of corpus with a 50-year interest-free loan. Now, this will provide financing to long tenors, as well as this will give a boost to the companies and innovators who are working in a variety of fields. Again, details of this scheme would be known in the coming few weeks and months, but this is definitely something which will give a boost to research and innovation in the country. Over the next few weeks, we will be analyzing some of these policies as well as the budget allocation more deeply. Do feel free to reach out to us for additional views and analysis. Thank you.